Hello again. I'm carrying on with the front panel. I've had the grinding wheel on it. I've given it a once over. The grinding wheel's quite good. It'll just, any weak points or rust patches, it just eats through them. So you can see where it's bad. Anywhere surface rust is, it'll just clean it up. So I like to get it back to like shiny metal, so you know it's all gone. And then once it's you can sort of repair anything that is in need of repair and treat the rest of it, and then get a coat of primer on just to tidy it all up. I'm gonna have to like clean it up a bit where it's going to be welded. I can't weld onto the primer. This was the worst bit, the bottom piece. It was quite perforated, not just on that edge but on the underside as well, which was really bad on the piece that I took off the car. So it must be an area that's going to be susceptible to rust. I presume the water just sits in there and can't get out, and it doesn't help it. So I wasn't too surprised. I knew there'd be rust in it, and it's not an important area. That it doesn't really do much, and it's not seen. It's behind the bumper. So I thought the best plan was to cut all the rust out and then just do it a piece at a time, wing it. I got some angle steel, quite thin stuff. It was about 1.2 mil, which is what the original steel is, and that was pre-manufactured, but it was 90 degrees. That's not quite 90 degrees. You can see the angle of where the bend is. So I just had to get the new steel and flatten it out a bit. So that was on the vise. I was hitting it with a hammer, straightened up a bit. It was slotted, which there's plenty of holes in the front panel anyway. Help it breathe. So this was me welding it in. It was going well until the welds started getting worse and worse, and then I realised that the gas was running out. So I've had the bottle for a couple of years now, but I have been using it quite a bit recently. So I welded what I could just to get it into place, and I thought I'll leave the rest for when I get the new bottle. But all in all, yeah, I was quite pleased with how it was turning out. I'm sure with a bit of seam sealer over that, it'll tidy it up. This was putting a bit of treatment all over it. This is the hammerite crust, and yeah, I mean it looks all patchy in different colours at the moment, but that sort of goes off and goes dark on any untreated metal or anything with rust. It sort of works on it, but there shouldn't be any rust in there because it's all been ground off. There might be the odd bit, but yeah, I was quite pleased with how that worked out, and I think I got a new welding gun. I put that on the welder. It was like using a new welder. It transformed it. Apparently the wire going through the tube it clogs up, and you should replace it like once a year. So the welders sit in the garage for ages, and they do get neglected. So just changing that made such a difference to the welder. Works so much better after that, with a new gas bottle as well. So now I'm just getting a coat of primer where I can get to everything. Once it's on the car, it's going to be a lot more difficult to get to. I will have to clean the primer up again, just where it's going to be welded. It's not weld through primer, so I'll have to take it back to bare metal, weld it, then I can prime it again. But yeah, this is the final bit that I hadn't primed because I just primed the other bit and it was wet. If you look at the inner wing in the corner just above me there, that's a hole that needs patching up, but I'll do that when I'm welding the front panel onto the front of the car. But yeah, it was looking much tidier, much better. I was quite pleased with how it turned out. Not going to put it on just yet because it's going to make it more difficult getting in and out the car. But thank you very much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, it would really help me out if you did. And if you like the video, that'd be great as well. Thanks a lot.